What's good, everybody? The proxy for Yu-Gi-Oh! Experience here because the man himself top came second at the Trinidad Regionals.
Okay, yeah, so it was our decent event.
Okay, Mr. Yu-Gi-Oh! Experience. So give us your shout outs.
So shout out to Mark, this guy over here, for always playing on great events. And shout out to Team LM, staff, everybody to have a great event. Shout out to the players for showing up. Shout out to my brother. He got top 16. And well, shout out to you too, Pelman. Yeah.
Okay, so show us what you did.
Alright, so Ishizu Tears, so you know, the standard cards here. Maybe this might not be as standard for some builds, but 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. So, well, these are standard. I don't think I really have to explain these. Some people opt for 1, 2, or even 3. I tested 1 because I started playing the deck last night because I didn't have a set, and then I found out I was gonna get a set. First I started with 1, and then I thought maybe 2. But the reason why I went for 3 is because in the mirror match, when your opponent mills, or you need to mill to play, because like even if you go first and you make dweller, you want to have access to the mill 5 or the mill 10 when you hit the others. So my reason was I just wanted it to be more consistent, because even versus non-Tearlament decks, when you open like Skiren plus Agido, you just feel like you win the game. Yeah.
Understood. But what do you think about in the mirror match? A lot of players try to make Abyss Dweller first. How did that come up in that scenario?
So a lot of players did try to make Abyss Dweller first, but in order to make Abyss Dweller, a lot of them actually had to make some plays first. So in that case, you might actually hit a hardness.
Okay.
So you might get a play.
Okay, I understand.
Or
Yeah.
in some cases, if you realize that they had fused like once or twice already, it's actually fine, I think, to use the effect to keep milling, because they're not really gonna plus. And if you keep milling, like let's say Keldo, you could shuffle back their cards, so on your turn you could actually play.
Okay, understood.
On to the Tearlament monsters. So I played 2 Rhino Heart, 3 Havness, 3 Melee, 3 Skern. I mean, it's really just for the names. This is a normal summon. I also play 1 Divine of the Hero. So I just wanted these as 3 main normal summons. I mean, sometimes you would summon Melee, but it's kind of rare because a lot of times you end up special summoning it or tossing it off of Skern.
Definitely, yeah.
So yeah, I prefer to just have the 3 because you shuffle back this anyways, so it's not like you're gonna miss it if you have to make Kaleido Heart. So those were those. I ran 3 Herald of the Orange Light. These were for the fairy cards, the Ishizu cards. So I know in your deck profile, you said that you played it because our meta was more undefined. I played it because of that, but I also think in the mirror matches is decent, because when you're playing and your opponent actually they mill their card that shuffles back your cards, you could actually use Orange Light to send, and then you negate their shuffle back and you get to fuse. So then it facilitates your own plays, and it also again tosses like Kelbeck or Agido, so you get to mill as well.
Okay, that didn't come up for me, or maybe I just didn't realize, and that's why you made second and I made top 8.
And well, obviously for Dimension Shifter, like I had to play because our meta has a lot of flounderies. We don't want to lose to that shit deck.
Yep.
And well, the 1 Bestial Jerusalem, this was single-handedly just because a lot of people are playing Magnomat main deck, and when we mill their cards, we want to plus over their cards. So Dark pull it back, so it's just Enfies.
How much did that come up for you?
This actually came up a lot because even if they're not playing like a light or dark deck, for you to just plus over this is still a beater.
Definitely.
It still gets over a monster, like when you link someone and you just attack with it. So it came up often. And then the spells, I played 3 Pearly No, 2 Scream, 3 Droplets, Terraform and Call by the Grave, and Instant Fusion.
So I know in my profile I played Super Poly over Droplets. What pushed you to the Droplets over the Super Poly?
Okay, so I'll show you the 1 trap card as well. 40 cards in the main deck. So you asked about Super Poly. So my thought process was Super Poly doesn't work against Flounderies, and Flounder is a very relevant deck in our meta. So I thought Droplets would have been a better call. Also, Droplets, at any point, you could once they have a monster, you could toss your Kelbeck or your Agido. So you could also get your Mill 5 off of that. And it actually came up once where I had my opponent just had a monster on the field, one monster, and I used Droplets to toss my Kelbeck, and I ended up winning the game off of it.
Okay.
And also even smaller things like the other random decks that we might have, like Inspector Border and those kind of weird decks. And also, I know you said in your deck profile you didn't think people would have played around Super Poly. I thought people would have actually played the known Super Poly would have been something to deal with, but Droplets being the main deck gave me a better first game versus general decks.
Definitely.
Yeah, like the general meta, because you're not always gonna play against Tearlaments, or you're gonna play against Rogue in our meta for the first few rounds.
At least so far.
Yeah, and I opted for 2 Scream and 1 Sulek because I think Scream is a great consistency card. The 1 Sulek in the main deck because you could actually just shuffle back these with your Ishizu cards.
Yeah.
So like even if you, let's say you mill off of you mill it, you could actually on the same chain use your Ishizu card to shuffle it back and then search it off a Kit Colors, because remember Kit Colors can search any Tearlament card. So it's fine if you mill it as well.
Definitely. Did you play any consideration towards playing Crime?
Well, it is actually in my side deck.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So side deck goes 3 evenly, 1 Crime, 3 Super Poly, 2 Heartbeat, 1 Duster, 2 Lava Golem, 2 Alpha, and 1 Bracketups. So I
You
don't
couldn't
realize
afford
that
the Fenrir's.
No, I just couldn't get them. But I don't think Fenrir is good in this deck. So let me.
I actually agree.
Yeah. So let me explain this because I just realized I put everything on the board. So versus Sprite matches, they have a problem that they have low attack monsters. If they even have Fenrir plus let's say Totally Awesome, you summon Bracketups. You attack the Fenrir, you tribute it, you hit 2, or if they have Elf, then you tribute it. But it's a good general use card because it gets over Fenrir easily, plus you get a Popper card. So it helps to combat those matches, and also, as I described, the random shitty decks that we have.
Yeah, for sure.
These two, well, I opted to play these because, again, I thought Fenrir would have been a prevalent card in our meta. So, again, you could just summon this, attack any Sprite match, attack over the Fenrir, and then use the effect to return the next card they have. So, I opted for 1x2 because I felt like 3 of those type of monsters where you just summon and attack were fine. The 2 Lava Golems, so I know sometimes we normal summon in our deck, but versus the Sprite match, when they end with Elf plus 2, Lava Golem just beats the board. Because it outs the Smashers, it outs the Double Cross, and after Lava Golem, they really can't do anything. And how Tearlaments has changed with it not being nearly as dependent on one card again, you often have ways to play after just Lava Golem. Right? With these, well, this was just for the to out back row.
Yep.
The reason why I opted for Heartbeat instead of Cosmic Cyclone was because Heartbeat could actually let you send Kelbeck or Agido from your hand. So you could mill 5 plus shuffle back that card, which I thought was really strong.
Definitely.
Then, what else? Oh, 3 Super Polys. So I know we talked about this just now with it being in the main deck or the side deck.
Definitely. Yeah.
I know I have a lot of going second cards in my deck. There's only 1 going first cards in my side deck. But I felt like even versus Sprite, this was good. Versus Tearlament, it was good. But versus the random decks, like the Flandries, it's not good. Versus the random Eldritch deck or whatever it is, it's not that good. So I prefer to play the main deck with something that was generally good and keep side deck to have the edge on the specific matches.
Definitely, yeah.
Right? 3 Evenlies, I think this card is a staple this format, especially versus Tearlament. Like, if they don't have Crime, you just win. Sometimes they might have Baron, but against someone today, Like he had Baron and I just played too evenly from hand.
That's
And
disgusting.
I know it's disgusting, but if you combo it with droplets, like I'm playing in the main deck,
Yeah.
like you could still just send the evenly with droplets and they still banish everything but one card.
Definitely.
So you just out the board still. And the one crime that you asked about.
That's your going first card.
Yeah, so if I'm going first, I side this in.
Okay.
Because evenly is a very strong card. And this is usually out to the evenly. You don't really freight cards like Dark Ruler as much anymore because you end up playing a lot on your opponent too.
Yeah. Did a main deck mine out come up for you? Was it a consideration?
So I thought about it and I was like the deck is strong enough that you don't really need to have an out to Mystic Mine.
Yeah,
because you're probably gonna win game 2 and game 3.
Yeah. That's my same thinking.
Yeah, and also like there's like these weird interactions. Like if you have planet on the field and let's say they have one monster, because usually a lot of Mystic Mine decks right now they might have one monster. Like you say the Runic deck, they would have like the fusion sometimes. You could actually just use you could just make it so that you link into one monster and use your cards in the graveyard, your Ishizu cards, to shuffle back your tiers, and then use planet to pop the mine.
Yeah, and even when they activate the Mystic Mine, you can chain a Keldo or a Nagito, or the other one, and shuffle back a Tear Element and trigger your Pillarino to pop it on the chain. Yeah.
So you actually have it's a wear out, but you still have somewhat of an out sitting in the deck for it.
So extra.
Extra deck standard, one Kaleido, Rukulos, Garura.
Oh, that's not really a very shiny Rukulos.
I mean, there's the poor man Rukulos.
Oh, okay.
But it's alright. It's alright. Once you have one, I will feel good.
You didn't up any Dracos the belly, yeah?
Oh yeah, Dracos about it too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I don't think anything here really
Yeah, it's pretty
should
standard.
change. The only reason why I really played the Mud Dragon was because I'm playing Super Poly in the side deck. I don't think if you're playing Super Poly, this is really necessary.
Yeah.
It comes up sometimes where you might make it to just recycle resources and get as a 4. Like twice today, I actually use Instant Fusion to summon this just so I can make a run.
Yeah, and then without the other docks in our deck, it's definitely harder to summon organically.
Yeah, so it could probably get cut if you're not playing Super Poly.
I agree.
On to the XYZs, Dweller, Zeus, Baguska, Time Thief. I think these are staple.
Yep.
Baguska could probably come up. I don't think it really had a point where it was super effective today. The Zeus is really good because this Time Thief could keep
Shut up, you
attacking.
didn't top, you can't talk.
Wanna play Wizardic
Exorcister.
and say yeah I can't beat every Ishizu Tearlament. Well,
Yeah,
how you know?
actually,
He beat one Ishizu Tearlament and the guy thought he could attack a defense, one monster with the same attack and defense, and thought the monster would get destroyed by battle.
as if we.
I don't even know.
Hey.
Who it is off.
So yeah, the Time Thief could keep getting materials every turn, so it's like effective with Zeus as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't cut these. Babushka could fling with that card, wasn't too good. Synchros, Baron is just for the Divine and the Herald. And the links. So I know, well, these are staple. I think
Staple.
people playing are playing
Tell you to shut up.
the Borrowed Dragon. Even in OCG, a lot of people are playing the Borrowed Dragon. Yes, this could be a bit costly because it's a link 5. You could use one of your opponent's monsters, but that's the reason why I use it. Because cards that are unaffected, like let's say you go up against like Ategnista and they summon the big one, like you kind of just lose.
Yeah.
So I prefer to use this instead of the
Borrow.
Borrowed. And I didn't play against any decks that this was really relevant, but it's a surprise factor because sometimes your opponent might have something that's oppressive and they didn't use the effect yet because they're waiting on the key point in your deck and then you just summon this. Especially like versus Sprite, sometimes you might have 2-3 monsters and they might have the elf but they didn't use it yet because they're waiting for you to make a play so they could chain and you could just out it with this. Yeah. That's it.
Okay, congrats again on your top, Sanjay.
Alright,
Sorry,
thanks.
Mr. Yu-Gi-Oh! Experience.
Right, talk.
And look at this
Get
pleb.
a scrub. Get a scrub.
I think he was
What is this?
121st.
Chantal forever.
Oh, whoa.
these things.
Oh, Files busting.
Whoa.